Good morning. It is Lemurian Donna Carroll, and I'm here to say hello and to wish you all a beautiful Sunday and a beautiful week. And I want to talk about why I changed my name to Lemurian Donna Carroll instead of Donna Carroll. And that's because it is my soul's work and my life mission to bring in the Lemurian codes energetically upon the earth so that people can access that energy and bring in the memories of that culture that existed so many years ago before Atlantis. And did I always know that this was my soul mission? No, I did not. But I have realized it in the last few years. So this is why I go by Lemurian Donna Carroll. Anyhow. So today I am going to channel the Lemurians, but before I do that, I want to make a couple of announcements. Announcement number one is that going along with the Lemurian theme, I am offering an introductory channeling class. I shouldn't say it's an introductory class because after you take this class, you will know how to channel safely, effectively, and proficiently. In fact, I guarantee that you will channel your guides during this class. So I have taught several, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 channeling classes in New Mexico, but this class is going to be taught worldwide because I will be teaching it over Zoom. Now, understand that most of the classes that you can access online to learn channeling are pre-recorded videotapes. This is not a tape or a recording. It is a live class. I will be instructing you on how to channel, and there will be other students in the class that will be connecting via Zoom. So right now I have 2 classes scheduled. One starts April 7th, so in less than a month, and it goes to the 30th. So it's every Tuesday night and every Thursday night for 4 weeks. That means 16 hours of class time, and it will be 7 to 9 Eastern time in the US, which would be 5 o'clock Mountain Time, 4 o'clock Pacific Time, 6 o'clock Central. So that's one class, and then I'm going to offer another class in June. This will be an earlier class. It's going to be on Monday and Wednesdays from June 3rd to June 26th. So it's every Monday and every Wednesday from 1 to 3 Eastern time, which would be 10 o'clock Pacific time. So these classes are broken up into 2-hour chunks because it's hard to sit at the computer for more than 2 hours. Also, when I used to teach this class in person, we would sit for 4 hours, at the most 5, and that was a lot in person, and we would take breaks because channeling requires a lot of energy. You will be like, whoa, after you're channeling for the first time, your consciousness gets expanded and you're swimming in this energy, and it's powerful and it's amazing, but it can be, you can only do it for a certain amount of time. In fact, when you first start channeling, you'll be able to channel for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. You won't be able to channel for an hour. It takes some practice to get to that ability. But wanted to put it out there that these classes are coming up, one in April, one in June. And if you are interested in these classes, the fee is $8.97 plus tax. It's 16 hours of class time. And the Lemurian Mother Goddess is going to be overseeing the class, which means I'll be channeling her. You will be getting activations from her. Anyone that signs up for the class will get a pre-recorded cleanse, activation, and visioning tape from the Lemurian Mother Goddess. So it's an exciting thing because once you learn to channel, you will have access to that energy and those entities, and you can bring them in for your friends, your family, and possibly professionally if you want to be a professional channel. So just wanted to mention that. And if you're interested, go ahead and Facebook message me because the link on my website to register is not up yet. I'm working on that. I'm hoping to have that up this week. And I also wanted to let you know that I will be a guest on Carrie Murphy's show, Straight Talk for the Soul. I guess it's a podcast or it's an internet show. I've been on it once before. This is my second appearance. And I will be the guest on March 23rd, which is a Monday at 2 o'clock Pacific time, or 11 a.m. Mountain time. Is that right? 11, 12, yeah, 2 o'clock Eastern time, 11 o'clock Pacific time, all these time zones. It's hard to keep track of the time, you know. So anyhow, on this show, my focus is going to be on channeling the Lemurian Mother Goddess, which is one of my main guides and probably the most important guide considering what my soul mission is. So she's going to be talking to the audience about who she is, what she does, and what she's here to do through me. And so I'm really excited about that because that entity is a real thing. She really exists. She really incarnated here many, many years ago before Atlantis and brought in a whole new civilization in the Pacific Ocean. So it should be interesting. I know everyone's stressed for time, but that show should be pretty interesting if you have a chance to tune in or catch it later. So those are my announcements, the channeling class and the appearance on the show. I love to teach. It's my favorite thing to do. I teach professionally. I taught high school. I was a high school teacher. So I am a teacher by nature. Sometimes when you take a spiritual class, you're like, you know, does this person know how to teach? And I can attest that, yes, I have years and years of experience. So, okay, so let's get started. Today, I am going to channel the Andromedans, and the Andromedans live in a galaxy close to ours. They're not from this galaxy. So entities that are from this galaxy would be the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, of course, the humans. From our solar system, it would be the Venetians. So the Andromedans are a little further out, but they're I'm sure there's many races there because it's a huge galaxy. I mean, there's probably tons of life forms there. So we'll see who comes in today. But I have channeled them before, and the energies that came in were very, very evolved and very loving, and just had a lot to share with humans. So we'll see what they want to say today. I haven't read anything about Andromeda or prepared for this at all, so it will be totally their words coming through, and I hope you enjoy their message. So without further ado, let me get into my channeling state. And by the way, I'm wearing my stones. So I'm wearing my selenite. I have on smoky quartz and tourmaline that will help me channel these entities. Okay. So at this time, I would like to bring in my highest and best healing and channeling guides. And I would like to bring in my guides, the archangels, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel. I call in 10,000 warrior protection angels around me and around anybody else that will watch this video now or in the future. I ask for complete protection from these angelic guides. Please block any negative entities, energies, or thought forms from entering this space. Amen. I ask that this session be overlit and overseen by Yeshua. I ask that he make my words clear, accurate, loving, and truthful, and helpful to the audience. And lastly, I would like to call in an Andromedan collective. I ask them to take over my voice and speak to the audience today about a message that they would like to bring in. So I want you to know, as soon as I called them in, I saw a flash of white light in my left eye, so they are here. So let them come in fully and take over my voice. Amen. Yes, this is your Andromedan ambassador from another galaxy. And we are here today to wish you bright, bright days ahead and much love and happiness in your current reality. I am a liaison who lives and works on a spaceship. And yes, I have left Andromeda some days ago. It would surprise you that it is not that difficult to go from one galaxy to another in a certain amount of time, even though it's many, many hundreds of light years away, because we go through a wormhole, which is when space, if you think of outer space in linear terms, go ahead and think of space folding on itself. And so when space folds upon itself, you can go from point A to point B to point C in very quick time. And that is called a wormhole, these portals that exist between folded space. And this is how we travel in our spaceship, which is multidimensional in nature. So I am on a very large ship with many Andromedans, and we are here as a protective force around Earth at this time. So we come from Andromeda, and we have been assigned to your solar system to more or less protect it from outlying forces that do not have humans' best interest at heart, i.e., draconian forces, negative reptilian forces, and other entities that have invaded this portion of space and time in the past. For the most part, we have not engaged in any skirmishes or any types of warfare. We, of course, do not like to engage in warfare and do this as a last-ditch measured effort in an attempt to keep Earthlings safe. Earth is a very interesting place at this time and space in your quadrant, in this quadrant of the universe, in this reality. And many beings are here, as you know, from many different places in the universe, but because it is such a hotbed of activity, there are some limitations on who, what, where, and when these beings can access the human experience. And so right now in your reality, there are ships that run from Earth to Jupiter and from Mars to Jupiter, and they are transporting light beings back and forth from these realities. And there is teams of beings that make these travels because they have business in these other, on these other planets, in these other realities. But our job is to protect Earth. So in a sense, we stay pretty much within your solar system, and we cruise, or we go around your planet and the other planets in your solar system, and we make sure that all is well, that there are no light ships here that should not be here, and that all is well as far as the entities that are living and breathing upon the surface of the planet and underneath the surface of the planet, nay, even on the moons and in the ethers of these planets. So as an Andromedan, I have been raised for this job. I was chosen for this type of work at a young age, based on my karma and my strengths, and also looking at my weaknesses. So I was trained from an early age to be a liaison. I am a lieutenant commander in Earth's terms upon this spaceship. So from a young age, I studied uh, physics, I studied engineering, I also studied astronomy, astrology, and I was raised to learn star navigation. I can recite, or I have memorized most of the constellations, the star maps within this galaxy, as I knew that I would be assigned to this galaxy, and my teachers did as well, even this particular solar system. So I was trained in the how to travel within this realm, which is very different from the Andromedan galaxy. So when we come to this reality, there are differences in the environment that we must adjust to. However, our ship is really designed and it is regulated for our needs. I am what you would consider a male Andromedan. I am tall and relatively thin. So I am over 6 feet tall. I have a blue-gray cast to my skin, and I am much older than your average Earthling. In fact, I would be considered hundreds of years old in Earth terms, but in Andromedan terms, I am still quite young. When I was preparing to come to this solar system, I had to take a study or a history, learn about Earth's history, which is very interesting, somewhat convoluted, and much more complicated than most Earthlings realize. So we studied the different races that traveled here from various dimensions to conquer, make Earth a conquest, or to settle the Earth, or to examine or observe the Earth. And there have been many civilizations that have come and gone on this planet. And many of them are so ancient that there are only remnants of their memory in the etheric field. But yea, we access the Akashic records for this galaxy, and we are able to study these beings. So I got a general history of what has happened here, and it has been a hotspot forever, because there have always been many different star groups who wanted to possess this reality because of the riches and the variety of life that existed here. They wanted to mine it for resources, not just for gold, but they also wanted to mine the resources that is kept on the life forms of Earth, within the plants, the minerals, and also within the human body. So as Andromedans, have we been here before? Yes, we have. We have visited your planet in the ancient past. We have come and gone, as you say, but we never visited this planet long enough to colonize or settle it. We decided that it was something that was interesting, but not in our best interest, as the oxygen levels on your planet are hard for the average typical Andromedan to live with. It is hard for us to breathe, you could say, on your atmosphere. Your atmosphere is not conducive to our atmosphere, which is why our spaceship is really designed to keep us healthy and happy. There's a different level of, you could say, nitrogen, helium, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. It's a totally different mix that we have to keep us feeling good. And so we would not do well as inhabitants of the Earth's surface. However, we have been circling your planet for some time now. My ship itself was called in after the detonation of the atomic bomb in World War II. That was a watershed point, a great demarcation of time in this reality, because at that time when the atomic bomb was detonated, there was an alarm that went off by those in the celestial realms. And at that point, the creator of the cosmos called all light-bearing ETs to come to Earth, to work with Earth, so that it would not go down the trajectory of destroying itself. And so at that time, I volunteered for this mission, and I had been prepared as a star traveler, as a star ambassador. And at that time, around World War II, our ship got here in the year 1950. I came with the crew that is currently here. Now, there have been some personnel changes, and we do go back and forth to Andromeda, but I have been on this ship since 1950. We have very advanced and powerful defense mechanisms that come out from this ship. You would consider them shields or rays of light that can protect vast areas of your space. So we are called sometimes, and I am on one ship, but there is a fleet of ships from my section of Andromeda, and we have come to work together. When all of these ships are working in cooperation, they can form a circle or a ring that goes around the Earth. Okay, so there is a ring that goes around the Earth. You could imagine it going around the equator, and we would be several hundred miles outside of your Earth zone. And there are ships, and they line up, and when we fully put up our defense shields, which are light, you could not see them, they're not physical, they are light, they are modified light defense shields. Nothing, no outside military or aggressive or offensive extraterrestrial force would be able to penetrate that force field. Yes, it is a force field, and it can go 100% around the atmosphere of the Earth. And yes, we have put these shields up at a moment's notice on several different occasions. And not only do they block out threats from warring or neighboring negative ETs, but we can also deflect meteors and debris coming into the Earth's field. So we come in peace, we come on contract. We have contracted with the ambassadors of this solar system and this galaxy, and they have in fact commissioned us to do this work. Okay. So we also work in conjunction with other ET forces. So we have a liaison from our legion of ships, you could say. There are several ships in this force that is here to protect the Earth. And we also work with the Pleiadians, and we also work somewhat with the Arcturians and with the Syrians and with other extraterrestrial races of the light. There are people on our ship, Andromedans on our ship, who are master linguists and actually understand the native languages of these various ETs. Although when you communicate telepathically, the information comes in a thought form into the brain, and it is all automatically translated into the recipient's native tongue. But we communicate with other ETs and we work with them because there are many ETs here with various missions upon the planet. In fact, there are more ETs incarnated as humans upon your planet right now than at any other time in the history of your planet. In fact, there are some Andromedans who are incarnated on your planet in human form, but there are not that many, and they only access a small percentage or a small fragment of their natural Andromedan state because it is harder for us to stay embodied in human form because it is quite foreign to us. It is not natural to be on your atmosphere and in your human minds. We are a very different type of collective. So we study the political system upon your planet. We also study the military systems upon your planet. We study the movers and shakers upon your planet. And we understand that it is a difficult time for humans in general, especially with what's going on geopolitically. But understand that the powers that be on your planet and who have been in power for thousands of years on your planet, their time is fast approaching. In other words, they are not going to be in power that much longer. It is almost as if we are here to protect Earth from imminent danger, but the karma that needs to be played out upon the Earth's surface is being played out until that time which the worlds will split. Earth is going to ascend into a higher dimension and take those inhabitants with it, and we are here to watch this spectacle. And Earth will also reside in the current dimension. And so when this great splitting of time and space comes to your reality in your world, these beings who are in power and control geopolitically, your world will not be in control anymore. Remember that the Christ said that the meek shall inherit the earth. Whether you consider yourselves meek or not, we would say that the law-abiding citizens, loving citizens of earth shall inherit the earth. And the systems that are falling apart before your eyes right now will, yes, be completely dismantled because they are not in harmony with love, light, and the energy of collective cooperation. So yes, it has been a wild ride where you stand, and the ride will get wilder, but we have come today to let you know that there are forces upon your planet outside of your galaxy even that are here to hold earthlings up as they go through the great shift of the ages in their consciousness. And this great shift does not just impact you, it will impact us on our ship. We will be also going through a stage of reaching a higher state of consciousness. And for this, we are grateful and we look forward to it. We are taking samples of the atmosphere, of the minerals, and of the makeup of the different moons and planets within this reality. As we bring these samples back to Andromeda, it helps us to study and understand your system that much better. So there is a scientific envoy upon our ship. It is a big ship. There are many Andromedans. Most of us are, you could say, like military attaches, or we could be considered navigators or protectors. But then we also have scientists. There are linguists aboard, and there even are Andromedans that specialize in the collection and analyzation of Earth's plants and minerals. At sometimes, and this cannot be seen by humans, but we do make contact with the surface of the Earth and do collect samples to bring back to our home planet. So my main objective in making contact with you here today is to let you know that yes, there are species from other planets. I do look somewhat humanoid, but definitely could not pass for a human. And if I were to make my way upon your planet and walk across the fields, I would probably be either shot or people would run away from me in terror because I do not look human. But I am friendly, I am educated, I am an ambassador for the light, and I am here to complete this mission, and we will not leave until there is safety for all life upon the Earth's surface. So we will be here for some time to come, even after the great shift of the ages. So I would like to say thank you for listening to me today. I hope that this was a little bit of information for you to consume. It is just a message to let you know that you are not alone and that you have many friends visiting here, working here, and working for the upliftment, nay, the liberty of the human race away from dark forces. And with that, we say goodbye and we wish you well. And now the channel will come back. Well, thank you. I don't think that Andromedan gave me his name, but I want to thank you for coming through and being here and bringing us that message that we are protected, and that you have been here for quite some time protecting us, and that you travel within the realms of this solar system. So I'm looking forward to the day when we can truly become galactic citizens and sit down at the table with the various ET races that have been involved in our history and involved with what's going on here now on the planet. You know, humans need to focus, highly focus on evolving themselves. We need to really learn how to get along with each other. Various ethnic groups, various races, various people in different countries need to learn how to sit down and get along with each other. Because if we can't get along with each other, how are we going to get along with the ETs? Although the ETs typically are much higher in consciousness. But, you know, and I'm saying that to myself as well. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the Andromedan message, and I hope you have a great week, and I'm wishing you all very well. So have a great day. Bye-bye.